Good morning, people. Welcome to the stream. New day. Got some cool stuff to show. I'm going to do some more experimental stuff today, I guess, with shaders. But first, I want to shout out to, well, a book, basically, because I'm going to be talking about this in a second. Let me just turn on my webcam. There we go. This book is an absolute lifesaver. I was offered to review it. I've been playing with some of the information in there, and if you're into game design, I'm going to be publishing a full video about this probably tonight, hopefully tonight. If you're a fan of game design and you want to increase the quality of your game rigs, then this is the book for you. You got to check it out. It's absolutely awesome. All right, so the book is this. It only came out like a few weeks ago. It's an awesome book. It is a complete guide to character rigging for games using Blender. It's like the most clearest book you can think of. So you guys have got to check it out. So let's see. There we go. That's better. A complete guide to character rigging for games using Blender. And it's by Armin Halak. I think that's how you say his name. And it is awesome. It is absolutely awesome. If you're into game design and you want to learn how to create effective rigs using Blender, then this is like super comprehensive, ultra comprehensive, even down to like stuff like topology. So if you want to learn about game topology a little bit, optimizing your loops, optimizing where you place joints, optimizing where you place quadded meshes, super cool stuff. And of course, there's a step-by-step guide, I think from the very beginning, of how to start rigging your character. So even weight transferring techniques, stuff like that, bone constraints. It's awesome. You guys got to check it out. It's really, really good. So yeah, if you're into game design, and I'm gonna prove how good this is as well, because I took my rig yesterday. I took a rig that I made yesterday and tested out some of the principles. So this is the actual character that we were modeling yesterday. I rigged it with I used a Mixamo base rig to start off with, and then I edited it. I modified it using the book's information, and it's pretty sick. So that's what I was able to make in a couple of hours. But the cool thing about all of this is that it works not only in game engines, it works in the browser. It works in your web browser. It's super cool. Like I was doing this during lockdown for some AR stuff, and I had to do a sort of workaround, but I didn't realize there's a feature in Blender that lets you transfer properties kind of from bendy bones to regular joints. And yeah, this book kind of enlightened me in that. So let's check it out. So if you check it out, if you go over to this website, Babylon.js, and do a test, let's grab the file. Desktop, where are we? Just gonna open up my test rig. Check this out. So this is an export from Blender, and it works in the game engine. It works in the browser, dude. And it also, the cool thing about this is that it also exports out the proper squash and stretch that you would want from your rigs out of Blender. If you want to have cartoony rigs, it's an absolute lifesaver. It is definitely worth the money to look into it. So again, it is a complete guide to character rigging for games using Blender. Absolutely recommend this book. It's absolutely awesome. And thank you to Armin for letting me give a review. It's cool. It's awesome. So yeah, check it out. Really worth doing. So today, I'm going to actually be playing with a little bit of shading for the character. I'm not going to be using this animation for my film, but it was a good test. But I am going to be testing out some stuff with materials because I downloaded a new material, not a plugin, but like an add-on, I guess you can say, like a node tree from Blender Market that I want to test because it works in both it works in both cycles and inside of Eevee. So I'm really excited to try that out. So I'm just gonna open up my stream to see if I'm actually getting comments because I can't see them popping up. Luffy stuff. I'm not sure what Luffy means. Hey Dicko. Thank you, Ibra. Thank you for joining. Let me just open up my Twitch as well to make sure I'm getting everyone's comments. Also, has anyone seen this trailer? I haven't finished watching it because I popped on the trailer just before I started. Scavenger's Reign on on HBO looks awesome. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous that this exists because I was hoping to get something like this done before these guys. It's so cool. So stylish. And it all looks like it's hand drawn, hand animated, everything. It looks awesome. Can't wait to see it. Oh, right. I see. Of course. Yep. I haven't seen One Piece. All right. So, yeah, check this out as well. Looks really cool. Hand animated. Can't believe it. Okay. Let's jump in. So, I'm going to grab my recent file from yesterday. And we have this all set up the way we'd like. Yesterday we got some texturing done. And he's looking pretty cool. And I think he would actually look better when animated as well in this style. I feel like it's a bit glossy with the shader that I have, a bit too shiny. And I think some of the color feels a bit dull compared to even just how it looks inside of Substance. So we're losing some of that color there. And I think that's also down to Blender's color management. So if I switch this over to RGB, let's see, or high contrast, medium high contrast, we start getting some of that back, but again, it's not ideal. So I want to see what I can do about trying some new shaders out as well. So I'm going to go to my Blender Market account and actually download this thing for first. I purchased it just a few weeks ago, and I haven't gotten around to checking it out. So with that in mind, let's have some fun. And also, sorry, I'm going to open up Twitch. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I'm actually wondering how that's going to change things. It's going to be really cool. Well, yeah, I didn't know that was like I just I just noticed that a few days ago. This change in color language. So that's going to be really good. I'm on Twitch as well if you wish to say hello on there. All right, so let's go to my orders. So I came across this toon shader a few weeks ago, which is pretty cool. Now the cool thing about this toon shader is that it is affected by proper lighting, so it actually responds to what's the best way of putting it? It's unlike a emissions shader. It actually works more like a traditional shader, where the lighting actually does affect whether it's in shade or not. So I'm looking forward to really giving this a go, and it looks like it's a pretty nice, simple setup too. So let's check it out. All right. All right, so it's gonna download it. And I don't think it's a plugin. I think it's just a set of nodes. So it's gonna make sure it's all good. Let's just go to my downloads. There we go. And how is everyone this morning? What's new? What's been going on? No, I didn't miss too much. I just was spruiking a book. Again, I'm going to spruik it again because it's so awesome. This book. Spruik this book. A complete guide to rigging for games using Blender. It is, I think, definitive. It's pretty definitive for if you're developing for games, if you're developing rigs for games, this is a pretty definitive book. It's awesome. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a full review of that today. Yeah. So we got the file. I think I got the file downloaded. Yep. Let's check it out. And see what comes in the packet. Okay, sweet. There's a user guide and there's some assets. So I just have to, I think I just have to open up the, I think I just have to open up the shader. So, yeah, blah, 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 blah. That's great. Yeah, Uber shader, which is awesome. All right, sweet. So I think all I need to do is, import the node tree. So if I go to the shader editor and go to the nodes, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here. All right, cool. So there's all kinds of different nodes to play with, and there's some cool skins as well. So let's check it out. Absolute axes, closest axes, specular mask, paranoid. I need to get this one, the Uber shader. So that's the one I need to get. So I'm going to import that to my file. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my dealer. Don't save. And let's turn on this. And I'm going to go ahead and import or append the shader. So I'm just going to go to my downloads. And if I go down to the nodes section here, materials, where is it? Nodes, materials. You can see the different shaders, and these are cool because it has some actual previews, which is interesting. So what I need to get the Uber shader. There it is there. All right. Notice that there's a bunch of other ones here too. So I'm going to append that. I'm going to open up my node editor, my material node editor. I would say it's worth doing as well. I think his rigging course is geared both to games and animation, games and film. But I'm telling you right now, this book is also really worth looking into. All right, so I got this character's material. Let's have a look and see what we got here. There it is there. That's with using my custom shader. So I'm going to actually try their shader, this new one. So let's go with the Uber shader. Where are we? There we are. Huh, it's kind of similar to mine. So I'm going to grab the color. And I'm going to grab my normal map. And then I'll grab my roughness. Does it have roughness? I'm not sure if it does. It might be called specular. So we'll see about that. I might need to invert that. Top alpha. I don't think I need that. And displacement. All right. I think those two will do for now. So let's just try and see what happens. Interesting. Okay. So it's actually affected by the color. Oh, that's cool. So you can see the difference here. See how the light is actually being affected by the color of the lights I have in the scene. That's exactly what you kind of want. But also, it's being affected by the world color. So the world color is this. And it's actually, I think it's going to be affected by that as well. Also the blue light on this side. So I got two fill lights. I got my key light. I got a fill light over here, which is blue. And then I have my yellow, my pink light here. So let's see what happens if I modify this a little bit. All right, let's just give it a bit of a larger size. 30. Oh, no, let's go with 1 meter. So soften out those lights. And it is kind of similar to the way mine works. How old am I? I'm 35. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's play with this shader a little bit more. Sorry, I'm just managing my windows. So we have all this cool stuff. Let's play with some of these features. So we have specular factor. That's increasing the glossiness. So you can see the glossiness coming through there. All right, that's cool. What's the front tint? I'm not sure what that does. Let's play around. A timeless entity. Thank you very much, I guess. Oh, I see. Front tint color. That's interesting. I'm not sure what that's for. Back tint color. Ah, for some yeah, okay, I get it. I think I get it now. That's cool. So it actually comes with some normal auto normals. Shit, that looks cool. Now we're getting somewhere. I am Australian, so yeah, true. That's interesting. We're getting some really cool looking toon shadery effects here. We've got specular steps. So basically you can increase or decrease the amount of softness of the lights. I don't have any metallic here, specular factor. So you can increase or decrease the opacity of your specular. All right, interesting. Can you change the color of your specular? Unless the specular is affected by the color of your lights. Let's have a look. I think it might be. No, it's not. Oh, it is. Okay. Okay, so it is affected by the color of your lights. That's really interesting. Immortal by default. Well, thank you very much. I wish. Um, what else we got here? So this is looking really cool already. So let's bring down the specular factor just to soften that out a little bit. The back tint factor, which was that one? That was this one. Notice how the different kinds of normals affect the way that the colors come through as well. That's looking, I like the detail there, actually. Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate it. So I'm actually going to try adding this to every material and see what happens. So I'm going to copy what I've done so far here and just paste them into these areas here. All right, so I'm going to copy this color, paste it in there. Okay, cool. So it's looking pretty sweet. So I can actually decrease the specular. Okay, nice. So that's essentially increasing the roughness, apparently. By the look of things, it's like increasing the roughness. Okay. So the way the normals work is interesting. Do I plan on doing a lighting tutorial at one point? Yeah, I would like to, if I can find the time. So basically, it all depends, I guess, on a few things. Namely, I guess, diffuse balance. That's cool. Diffuse steps. Ah, interesting. It just depends on the demand for it, I suppose, as well. That's looking pretty cool. I like the fact that this has enough information here that I can probably get away with not needing to texture it as much. It is a bit glossy though. See that gloss? So I'd actually bring down the specular. Oh, that looks okay. That looks cool. That means I practically wouldn't have to texture this in a way. That looks really cool. I like the dark shadows. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Oh, my well, appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Tank Buster. I'm guessing the 3 is a B. So yeah, we've got this going on here. Let's have a look and see how it looks with the clothing here. All right, that's looking really cool. All right, that's looking way more stylistic. This is more in line with what I was hoping to have for my animation. Definitely. Let's add it to the mask. Now, apparently, there's also a ooh. Apparently, there's also a tricks everyone. Really? Okay, there you go. There's also a metallic shader, so I can probably add it to this maybe. But let's try and change the color of his mask. Ooh, that looks cool. Okay, I'm getting excited here with this shader. Also means I don't have to actually do any what's the word? I won't have to worry about creating a new shader for myself to make this look work. And the color, that's cool. Okay, and the nice thing is that the lighting works with it too. How long have I been a 3D artist? I've been a 3D artist for about 8 years. I guess you can say. About 8 years. All right, let's see how it looks with these little spikes. Now, I'm actually curious to see, because we have these different ones here. We have a bunch of shaders. There it goes. So there's also, I think I saw a metal shader. Let's try and add one. This is looking really cool. I'm sure I saw metallic in the list there. Let's see. 50% green, basic RPG, toon shader, polished curve. I'm sure there was a metallic option. Maybe I'm thinking wrong. Oh, there it is there. Specular metallic. So just put that in there. And increase the specular on the metallic. That should work. Specular balance. Change the color a little bit. I think I have to play with it a bit more. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to grab all these spikes and select the last one there. And then copy material to select it. Ooh, that looks pretty cool. Okay, so it does look like it's behaving kind of like a metal. What's the name again of this shader? It's called Paranormal Toon Shader by, what's his name? CFC. So whoever worked on this, good job. Paranormal Toon Shader. So let's bring that up again to spruik that. Checking this out. It looks really cool. And it works in cycles as well. So I'm really excited to try that out again. Try that out as well. But that's looking really interesting. Let's add one more for the feet. I haven't textured the feet yet, so let's add some skin tone. Let's just see how it goes with skin tone in general. Okay, so it looks a little bit different, interestingly enough. But I can change the behavior of the normal a little bit. Change the black tint. There we go. Cool. So if I don't want it to be as extreme with the blacks, I can actually bring down the tint. So it's a little bit less extreme. And I can also change the color of that tint to be another color. So if I want to have it sort of be a little bit more stylistic, that will work as well. So if I want to change the color of the shadow, I guess you can say, it will kind of look like that. That's looking really interesting. Hello, Sketchy Squirrel. Welcome. But I am kind of interested in the black overall. So I'm actually kind of keen on keeping it black. All right. Let's get his thongs, or sandals as you guys call it. Different color. Now, I'm not being very organized with my materials right now, but that's okay. I can live. So I'll keep the colors the same as the pants for now, or for the shirt for now. And here's a little trick: if you want to copy and paste a material from one to the other, you just drag and drop it from that little circle there. Now, what I am curious about is whether or not this is affected by HDRI lighting. All right, so that would be pretty cool. Let's see how we go there. So I'm actually going to download a HDRI from Polyhaven and see how we go. I'm just going to grab a basic one. Yeah, so well, it's satisfying. It's so simple at the moment. At least it's not too overwhelming. I am curious about which one should I go with. I think I'll go with this one for this one. Go with this normal setup for this one at the moment. See what happens when I change this one to flat as well. Interesting. I kind of like to try planar look with this one. It kind of gives it that sort of painted. No. Well, only part that's painted is this. The body. The body is painted. Everything else is sort of procedurally being done. So I'm really interested in seeing how this all comes together. All right, so let's add a HRI. I should get the add-on, honestly. Just to link it all up. I'm gonna get an outdoor lighting setup and see how this looks. Something with a bit of shadow. All right, cool. Something with a bit of a, I want to say dusk-like effect. I'll get one with outdoors straight up. Download that one. Okay. Sorry. Just gonna try and find everything I need. Documents. So just renaming this. All right. And save that one. So I got one, and then I'm gonna get one more HDRI. Sorry, I'm just gonna grab it over here. Yeah, it looks pretty cool, huh? It's a really nice little texture material mesh setup. So we've got this one here. I'm gonna go ahead and do one more. Try and find a evening-esque setup. This is not my shader, actually. This is not my shader, so I could give a tutorial on some basic stuff, but it wouldn't be nearly as good as what we've got so far. Let's grab this one as well. All right, cool. 2 will do. So the cool thing about this shader as well, which is interesting, is that it works in cycles, which I'm really keen to check out. So if I switch over to cycles, so I'm curious about how different it feels. Wow, that's fast. Okay, that's interesting. All right, let's add a HDRI. Is it affected by HDRIs? It doesn't look like it is. Let's go into the settings here for the world shader and disable the lights that I have here. Okay, interesting. It looks like it is. So if I go ahead and rotate this, we'll see if the shading. Yep. Yeah. Lightning Boy would probably be the best place to get information about that, and it's very detailed. Let's try rotating this and see what happens. Holy crap, it works. Okay. Check out that shadow. Check out that shadow there. Okay, this is going to change probably the way that I do the film. Compare that to Eevee, which will have let's just go to Eevee and then set up the previous to have scene world and scene lights. See how with Eevee you don't get shadows added HDRIs? That's normal. That's a Eevee thing. It doesn't do shadows from HDRIs because it's not particle based. Not particle. It's not physically based rendering. It's screen spaced. But check out that. That's gonna be cool. I'm so keen on this now. All right, I think I might actually use this for the film because this is looking really cool. No, not the light. This is not Lightning Boy shader. This is a paranormal one. I think the Lightning Boy still relies on Eevee to operate. So there's functional limitations, if put it that way. The cool thing about this shader, which is really interesting. Let me just make a brand new light, just out of context with everything else. I'll make a brand new light. Is that it's reactive in terms of color. So if I wanted to make some fill lights with color, it's actually going to change the behavior of the lighting. So see how this is actually changing? So if I increase the color here, this is something that doesn't happen in normal toon shaders, mind you. Normal toon shaders can't do this, where you have to, normally you'd have to actually override the shader with a color overlay to make it work like with different colors. But this one is doing it procedurally. Like it doesn't not procedurally, it's actually doing it with the lighting directly. So you can actually color with lights instead of color with the material. So you don't have to go ahead and have a separate material for every time you have a different lighting set up, which is really cool. I'm really impressed by this thing. That's awesome. So let's turn off the background. Now I apologize if the Blender crashes. Blender and cycles don't go very well together. They tend to crash quite a bit. The shader's doing something with the normals. Yes, they are. So if I go to the settings of this material, so that's this one here, you can change the way that the normals are being projected. Oh, that looks actually not a lot nicer now. Actually looks a lot nicer with that in mind. And if I change the color, see how that looks with the black tint. Okay, the black tint's working on the back, but not so much on the front, which is interesting. But still really cool. All right. So let's just add one more material to this. I'm actually going to copy this to there. I'm not going to, these are the final colors by any means. And yeah, that looks really nice. Okay. Oops. Did I get it? So I can actually just copy them directly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can actually go copy to selected. There we go. I'm liking the stridation here on the metallic. So let's just see what the difference does with it turned off. Yeah, that looks really cool. And you can increase the steps as well to have it more softer or more cartoony. Oh, thanks, Derek. Cheers. All right. So yeah, really impressive stuff. So I just want to double check the color of the feet. Let's just make them a little bit more natural. I will properly texture those feet later, but I'm just interested in seeing how it all comes together. Let's see how fast it renders. I'm gonna turn off the background. All right. See how fast that renders. Oh wow, okay, it's pretty quick. So that means it's also really effective As oh, cool. Wow. Okay. That's with my extra bits and bobs turned on too. Okay. That's sick. All right. I think I'm onto something here. So this is about using like an effective. This is like an effective version of a toon shader, man. Oh my god. Oh, all right. Now I got a question. This one's a bit different. This one's because it's down to the way that the eyes are going to animate. Should I put glass in the eyes, you reckon, or have it stylized so that these actually animate as a shape? I'm thinking the second one of the book. Of the book, sorry. Not sure what you mean. What's the name of the game? Yeah, yeah, sorry. This name of the book. Again, I'll bring it up here. Complete guide to rigging, character rigging in games. All right. This book here. You can get it off Amazon. I don't have any affiliate links. I'm just purely reviewing the book for what it is, and it's awesome. You guys should definitely check this out if you are interested in that. All right, so what I'm gonna do now, what I'm gonna do now is get the rig that I made yesterday and see how the shader looks in animation. Yeah, this shader's sick. I'm actually really impressed by it. And I really like the way the skin was looking a bit plasticky with my own shader, but now it feels definitely much more in tune with what I'm looking for in my animation. The other nice thing about this is that it can be combined with other features. So if I wanted to, I think let's just turn off all the extra bits here. Statistics, text info. Let's just turn off the empties. Let's turn those off in the reference. The thing I like about this, yeah, that's what I kind of want. I want to have it more like misshapen, like as he talks. So I'm probably going to do some blend shapes for that. Now, the cool thing about this, and the fact that it works with cycles, is that it also will allow me to combine different aspects of the color. So what I mean by that is that I'll get an accurate, if I want to combine, say, my base color with an ambient occlusion. And this is the issue I had with my previous film, is that it wouldn't work properly. This wouldn't work properly because it's screen space, but this is physically based. This will work if I want to combine a color. Say I want to add some ambient occlusion in all the crevices of a certain color. All right. Mix color. I can do this. So basically, this means I'll get very accurate sort of blending. 1, 2, 3. So this goes there. See how I get this ambient occlusion here? Now I can combine that and get that's sick. That is exactly what I want. All right, that's cool. See, I get those purple undertones now in the ambient occlusion, and I can crunch those down to get that sort of effect. Okay, that's awesome. Sorry, I'm gushing a little bit. This is gonna change the way that my film looks, basically. So I'm really excited about that. And this is where, like, yeah, this is cool. This is where paying for certain things does come in handy. Paying for features that are worthwhile. Oops, let's just close that. So I'm going to copy these nodes. And the color here that I'm going to copy is this one. I'm going to paste it in there to get that same sort of features in there. This is awesome. I can't wait to try this out in more detail. Now with this one, is it working? It should be working. Yeah, it is working. Okay, cool. Let's just go ahead and linearize that so I can see it a bit more. Yeah, I can see a little bit coming in a bit more there. There we go. And the shit. All right, sweet. So the other cool thing is that yeah, for sure. And the other cool thing is that curvature works on this. Curvature will work. Ooh, this will save me from actually having to texture any of this shit. Very cool. All right, cool. So I'm gonna grab a object info and sorry, a mesh info. I need a mesh info. I think it's mesh info. No, what's it called? Um, input. It is attributes or something like that. What is it called? I always forget. Object info. No, I did that before. Geometry. Sorry, that's the one. Pointedness. Now I can probably do this with another thing as well, but I'll try it out later. But this is going to be cool to get these nice folds on this going forward. Also, sorry, I forgot about Twitch. Anyone on there? No. All right, never is. All right, cool. Let's add another mix node. And this time I'm going to add another color ramp. Pointedness, color into the factor. Let's see if this works. All right. Ah, yes. Yes. This is what I want. How cool is this? The fact that it works in cycles is insane. Yes, that's the best part. So now I can do sort of like fold colors. Now it looks like it's like hand painted, man. This is cool. All right, cool. All right, yep. This is cycle. This is going to be a cycles animation this time round. That's for sure. Oh, this is so cool. And the nice thing about cycles is that I can also do mirrors and reflectivity better and all sort of stuff. And I won't have to worry about baking anything. Now, in order to fix up this little stradation here, I could technically add a subdivision surface, and that will fix things up a little bit, just a little bit. And I can live with that if it means I get this sort of effect coming through. I can also set up a what do they call it? Yeah, just a curvature bake or something like that. So very happy with that. Let's try and add this to the shirt. Yep, no way going back now. No way. And I don't feel guilty about not doing it myself either. No guilt. All right. Chuck that in there. No, sorry. Is it there? Yeah, there. There to there. Yee. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I wanted originally with my first film. That's sick. Holy crap. That's so nice. Let's see how fast it renders now. So I've got a 2-minute limit on this, by the way. So if it finishes before 2 minutes, then it's a win. You can see the samples being done there. Okay. That's a win. That's cool. Yeah, RGB curve is as yeah. You can do that though, I'm pretty sure. But this is looking amazing. I am so keen now. I'm excited. I'm so excited. How cool is this? Wow. All right. Now I need to do. See, I was actually thinking about not going on stream today because I didn't know what to do today. Reduce your fat samples. 4K is too much. It's not too much if you set a time limit. I always set it at a high sample rate. So the thing is with this is that you set it to as high as you want it to be, and if it reaches 4096 in some sections, then you win, right? But even if you don't hit that number, you can still limit your time render to be 1.5 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever, and you get the most amount of flexibility. So samples aren't bad. Do I usually use a render farm when rendering large sequences? Not really, but even if the render time for this was like 15 seconds, I would be tempted to do a render farm for this. For sure. So let's copy this into here. That's cool. All right, let's just add a little bit of, just a little bit. I know I should. I know I didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna add a subdivision surface. Okay. Now there is a better way to do the curvature, but for this, I think this will do for an experiment. That's fine. What is a render farm? A render farm is where you like upload your work to a service online, and they have like hundreds or thousands of graphics cards to render your film with, and they render multiple frames at the same time. All right, how we go with rim light? Is there any rim light? Overlay normal factor. What's that mean? Not sure what that means. Light direction. So that one is, I guess, like a normal based light direction thing. Is there any rim light opportunities here? I guess the rim light would come from just adding more lights. Specular balance. Yep, okay. Specular steps. So I can soften that out if I wanted to, yep. I'm curious about whether this node means anything. If I can put a number in there. Let's just save that and just go into the shader and see. Okay, those nodes go nowhere. That's good to know. The crazy thing about all this sort of stuff is that you can actually break it apart with these nodes and see what's in there. No, it costs $25. Oh yes, the render farm can cost a lot of money. It depends on the amount of time it takes to render a frame. Kind of, yeah. There's probably a better analogy, but yes. All right, cool. So let's have some fun with this. So I've got this this model, right? But in my other blend file, my rigging test, I've got this rigging test animation. All right. So this one has no materials on it, but it's a very basic animation test that I wanted to try with the book in mind. All right. All right. So what we can do is take this rig. Let's just take this rig. Hopefully the scale is the same because I don't know. Let's go into rest position. I'm just going to copy this rig. Very basic rig. All right. It's an adapted Mixamo rig with some extra tweaks. Copy this. All right. This is going to be interesting. All right. So paste. Ah, thank fuck. All right, good. It is the same. All right, so I'm just going to double check to see if it's included the other mesh with that. It hasn't. That's good. It's got the rig in there. Cool. There's no duplicates, just to make sure. No. Great. All right, so I got this rig. Oh, did I duplicate by accident? I did. I have a feeling that I will use this shader for the background, yes. yeah, I'm really curious to see how this will look with the spaceship, for instance. So Alt G, cool. Now I probably will scale down this character to be more applicable to the right scale, but for a render test, this will work fine. Let's go to widgets. Close that to widgets. All right, this is exciting. All right, so what I'm going to do is select the entire rig first, and the mesh, save, and make a new version, 8. Will I use this shader for the background? Yeah, sorry, I already answered that question. Yep. All right, so save that as a new version. And then I'm going to just quickly parent this to the mesh with no groups, empty groups. Great. And then let's go to this plugin, this surface heat, these voxel heat diffuse skinning. I'm going to change the diffuse loops to 4. And the resolution 256. And let's go. All right, this is super cool. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, well, this book actually, I'm gonna go back to this book while this is doing its thing. 24 seconds. This book actually tells you more than that. Tells you where to place your poses. It's called Paranormal Toon Shader. It also tells you where to place joints. And it also tells you where to place the clavicle and in what orientation. And how to orient your joints. It tells you the advantages of placing joints in a certain way. And how to add weight paint as well, which is really cool. And just goes on and on and on. So yes, again, book. I'm spruiking it. It's awesome. Okay. Okay. So this has been done, and it also has all the animation in there, which is cool. Let's see how it looks. Animates like a kid. Like yep, fantastic. It's animating. Awesome. All right. Let's see how this actually looks like in a pose. Okay. Let's hope it looks cool. Let's hope it doesn't crash either. Ah. Ah. That's so cool. It's called A Complete Guide to Character Rigging for Games Using Blender. It's on Amazon. Let's see how this looks. She. Oh my god. Okay. This is gonna be sick. How cool is this? And the shadows work really well too. Also, mind you, the voxel weight diffuse, just keep in mind that this has really interesting geometry for the pants and stuff. Just keep in mind that this is actually just weight painted automatically. All right, keep that in mind as well. This is a really cool rig, really cool add-on as well for weight painting. Damn. What do you guys think of the animation, by the way? It's pretty insane. Oh, there it goes. So it crashed. Yeah, Cycles and Blender on Mac just don't like it. Like don't like each other. Um, yeah, that's a shame. I think it's still rigged. No, it's not. All right, cool. All right. So I'm gonna try one more thing to give it some extra oomph. Yeah, super clean. I'm gonna try one more thing with this just to see what we can do to give it even more personality. Because this didn't exist back when I was doing Black Curtain, the first one. So let me just re-rig this, reskin it. Because it crashed, obviously. Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, I got bored about Land's vibes when I did it as well. But I don't care. I think it's a unique in its own right, in my opinion, this character. So, and the personality is going to be very different as well. So let's just choose a pose to work with. That's cool. I like that pose. Let's see how the lighting looks. And let's just do a little render test. And you can see the curvature does move around a little bit when it's animating. So you may would want to you'd have to sort of um bake down those curvatures, I think, to mix with the cloth. But overall, that's so cool. All right, so what I want to do here is I'm gonna add a black back a colored background in the comp. So what I'm gonna do in the compositing, I'm going to see it's got alpha, so I'm gonna do alpha blend, alpha alpha mix, alpha over. Sorry. Hopefully that works. Let's go to viewer backdrop and viewer. Sorry, I'm just gonna add a viewer. Okay, cool. So we've got this issue here. Let's just change this to be this way. That's cool. And that's sick. All right. Yep, that's looking cool. How are you gonna make it work if it crashes all the time? Plan to work in Eevee? No. I'll just render it, and if it only crashes when I'm playing around too much with animation in real time with cycles. It can't keep up, and let's just yeah, and it just doesn't like it because of the unified memory. But um, when you are just rendering it out, it's pretty stable. All right, cool. Let's just let this load render out, and then I want to see what happens if I can add like a toon line to this using grease pencil. So I want to try using grease pencil to toon line this thing out. That's cool. Oh, so cool. All right. Next step. Let's go ahead and try single shot toon line. Is that like I'm not sure what you mean by single shot. So what I'm gonna do here is add a grease pencil object. And by mind you, I can actually just preview shader with Eevee and it will be fine. I'm going to turn off camera to view. Man, it looks so much better with cycles. I can't believe it, how much better it looks. Something generated, so it's going to generate using cycles. Grease pencils system. Sorry, I'm just going to double check to see. I'm going to add some extra manipulation. Now this could be fixed, so I'm just going to go ahead and fix up the shirt just a little bit, or might just automatically skin. Ah, come on, let me select you. Just set this to automatic skins. That looks a bit better. Yeah, it looks better. So sometimes the automatic weights work better. Sometimes the voxel one works better. That's better. Yeah. Awesome. Sweet. So just want to pose that a little bit better. Yeah, that was cool. Keyframe that. Let's get those shoulders up. The same thing there. People always forget about the shoulders when they animate. Available, copy, paste. All right, cool. That will do. Oh, I forgot to keyframe that one. All right. All right, sweet. Grease pencil for outlines. Yes. Oh, thanks. Comic Sans, just so you know, I'm using a purchased material node tree called Paranormal Toon Shader. Fully light driven, familiar workflow, cycles in Eevee. So good. I paid 25 bucks. I think 25 bucks. This is worth it. For sure. This is very much worth it. All right, so what I'm going to do is save this file first. Ah, I'm in the wrong window. I'm going to save this file first and put myself back into rest position. I'm going to turn off the background as well. Can I turn off the background in the inside of the previews? Not sure. Yeah, it doesn't seem to make a difference. Yeah, that's cool. All right. And also in the rig, I'm going to clear out the motion paths. Can I clear them out? What about in here? That's better. A little bit more usable. And all right, and I'll just hide away that for now. Actually, I'll just hide it away up here. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do is try out this. Yeah, it's really easy to use too. And it works with cycles. That's the other thing. It works with cycles. All right, so what I'm going to do is oops, not that one. I want to reset my cursor. Then I'm going to add a grease pencil object. All right, cool. Let's erase in draw mode. Erase the line. All right, done. The object's still there, mind you. It's just hasn't got anything rendered to it. So what I'm going to do is now outline objects. I think this is the one to use. Line art. I'm going to select. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so I'm going to select the. Let's select the body first. All right, cool. Layer lines. Material black. Is it working? I have no idea. So do I actually have to have something drawn in there to make it work? I'm not sure. No. Okay. So it's been a while since I've used this tool. Now, edge types, contour, individual silhouettes. What is silhouette? Why is it not working? Oh, it's in the camera. Thank you for letting me know. Yep. There we go. Awesome. All right, great. Thank you for letting me know. It's been a while. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this in mind. So stroke, lines, colors, and now we can go to the settings under the modifier, line thickness, and just bring that down. Okay. I'm going to set that to contour. All right. I'm not sure if I'm keen on it yet. I guess I have to see how it looks in movement. We can also set it to material borders as well, which is interesting as well. That could be useful. I reckon it would have to be pretty thin to be effective. Like noticeably thin. Otherwise, it starts to look a little bit too video gamey, if that makes sense. And I would have to add a little bit of texture to this as well, I think. So now with the line, occlusion. Ah, that's cool. So you can actually set it to be one camera. Intersection, face mask, chaining, intersection with contour. Does that make a difference? That's all right. So with this in mind, I'll just duplicate this this thing. Can I duplicate it? Shift D, Alt D, there we go, line art 2. And I'm gonna change that to clothes to include that. And what's this in? Mask. Okay, so I have to add one to the mask as well. This one's in the mask. This one's in the mask collection already, which is interesting because it's already showing. Oh no, it's not. So these have to be moved to the right layer. All right, cool. Noise can be good on a GP layer. Yes, I've been thinking about that as well. So some texture would be good. Otherwise, it looks too odd. It looks too digital. All right. So with that in mind, let's add a duplicate to the grease pencil. Oops. Shift D. And set that to the mask. Yeah. I think it looks a little bit too strong, but let's have a look and see how it looks as it's rendered. How much better does it look at cycles though? Oh my god, so much better. Now the grease pencil does add a bit more to the render style. Yeah, I think animated noise will also come in handy as well. And you can see the render time is actually going up quite a bit. Okay. Yeah, yeah, possibly. Not a big fan of the sharpness of the lines there. It is kind of killing off some information as well. but there's potential. The other thing I don't like about line art in 3D, at least with like low budget stuff, is it starts to show the problems you have with your mesh in terms of just shape language. So for instance, the sharpness of that thumb kind of gets lost a little bit, even though like it is my fault, but you can start to see what I mean there. And it does feel a little bit too dark now. But under the grease pencil now, let's see if we can add some texture to this. Noise, offset, shrink wrap. Offset would be kind of cool because it would kind of like, you can kind of scale it and kind of get this weird offset effect where it's kind of just like a misprint sort of thing. Yeah, that would be kind of cool, like as a stylistic thing. If I had to learn an animation from zero and win a competition in a month, what was the first thing I'd do? Jesus. What kind of competition is it? Is it for amateurs? Or is it just like is it a community thing? I have no idea. It really depends on the level of quality required for the competition. Yeah, the rendered version. I've also added a bit of effects on top of this, like distortions and stuff like that, just for the hell of it. Um, it does look a little softer though. Let's see, let's add some noise to it. I mean, that looks nice, but as in like interesting as well. I can increase the chaos there a little bit. That looks kind of like Spider-Verse-y. Is it generated randomly? Okay, that looks pretty cool. That looks really like that looks cool as a style thing. I think I might do that when it comes to animating explosions and stuff. If yeah, if it's a Punisher challenge, then dude, I don't know what to say. You'd have to really dig down and find something that works. All right, let's just have a look and see how this renders anyway, just for fun. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Nightmare sequence. It could work really well with some gunfight parts. So I'm actually very keen to try this out. Yeah, like an explosion when they like get blown backwards and the lines sort of come out of nowhere. That'd be really cool. Yeah, accents on top of the action would be really cool. Outlines can be masked out with objects. Yes, that's true. Okay. All right, that looks really cool. I gotta say, that looks sick. I'm gonna save that image. All right, let's just save that on my desktop for now because that looks really interesting. How cool is that? I didn't know how to retopo skin or sculpt bake until I finished within the first. Yeah, it's hard, man. Yeah, no, that's really cool. Um, and I can increase the strength, decrease the strength, I think as well. So the strength of the noise. Okay, that's interesting. So it has like opacity. What's this thickness do? That's nice. So you can play with the thickness and strength to get different things. UV. Okay, interesting. Noise scale. Okay, so you get really noisy or less noisy. Noise offset. Yeah, that's interesting. All right, cool. That's definitely something to consider in terms of just adding chaos to the animation. So I'm really keen on that idea. But I think in terms of just texturing the lines, I think that might be a way to go about it. So in the actual line settings here, you can go to strokes, stroke thickness, world space, which is cool. Um, display. Pretty sure there's a way to change the way the lines are rendered here. Otherwise, effects. So basically, wave distortion. I'm not sure if is that a post effect? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Doesn't seem to be doing anything. All right. Does that only work inside of the rendered view? Again, just playing things out. Okay. All right. Obviously, it only works in render. Because if I bring down the length, the size now to like I don't know 5, those lines, yeah, that looks way better. Okay, cool. Now onto something. So just a little bit of blur has fixed this, I think. Just a little bit of blur. You can't you put a mask on someone without any eyes and have a skinny dude. You can't avoid it, but be looking like Borderlands a little bit. He will have some more tattoos in the future though. All right, that looks much better. I like the blur, and it's giving just enough contour in the edges. Yeah, that feels a lot nicer. The only thing I'd say is that I'd need to anti-alias the lines at a certain distance. No, I haven't seen the new TM sorry. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I haven't seen it yet. No. Grease pencil outlines are glitchy. That is true. But that looks really cool. Now, let's have a look and see how this looks in animation. So I'm going to unhide the armature and see how this can look in pose. Now, save this so I don't fucking destroy my render again. I am going to bring in the camera from the other file though, because I've already timed the camera out with that one. So the camera has already been set to work with this, that sort of thing. So let's just go ahead and grab that. And I'm just going to go ahead and paste that in here. Make this the active object. So view, cameras, active camera. There we go. Cool. Let's just turn off the pre-render. Okay, so it is actually rendering in real time the line work as well. That's why it's running like shit. The purple is killing me. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Yes, he'll have the cigarette as well. Mind you, there's a little cigarette hole for that for him. All All right, so I'm gonna actually grab the other camera and let's get back to that pose there. Viewpoint. Let's see, cameras, active camera. All right, cool. Can you believe this even runs in real time? It's pretty amazing. So which pose would make a good thumbnail, you reckon? This one? I reckon that one. That one there. I think that's going to be good. Awesome. Joining late. Trust to grab some tips though. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, the purple is all. I'm always keen on the purple lately. Like, as you can tell with my thumbnails. And with the film at large as well, obviously. So you see that tearing there in the pants? We can fix that pretty easily with a corrective smooth. Okay, let's see how this comes out. Yeah, looks cool. Yeah, all right, see how the line works. Where's the line work? It's missing. Okay, why is the line work missing? Did I turn it off by accident? Is it tied to the wrong camera? So let's see, line art, camera. Yeah, for sure. Does the line work there? I can't tell. Let's turn off the effect for now. Go back to my line artwork. All right, there goes the cat yet again. Okay, why is the lines not rendering now? Can anyone tell me? Does anyone know why? Custom camera. Okay, that's not working either. Okay. Okay, why is the line art not working anymore? But if I go to my other camera, I think it will. Oh no, it's just not working at all. I think you can only have one camera in a scene. Is that right? That's not the case. Can anyone tell me why the line art's not working anymore? It should be working. I haven't removed anything. I haven't changed any settings. Did I disable it by accident? No. Is it rendering? Yes. Okay, this is interesting. View, cameras, set active object. Where's camera? Yeah. Line art works for active cameras, yeah. And this is the active camera, but the line art isn't working. Damn it. I could have had something ready before the end of this stream. Okay, use cache, contour, material borders, line thickness. Has that got something to do with it? No. Popping up there. It should be working. All right, hold on. Let me just look this up. Camera collection. Possibly, but I doubt it. No, that's not the case. Oh, also fix that up. That will fix that up. And also, may as well do it while I'm doing this, is smooth corrective. That will fix up, hopefully, yep, there we go. The distortion there. That's cool. Damn it. Okay, I really want this to work. So, stroke. Use cache. Do I have to refresh it maybe? Oh, there it goes. Interesting. Oh, because it has it. Oh, I see. It's because it has. You need to have a keyframe on your stroke first for it to work. Now it's working. Yep, I get it now. So now that's working fine. So if I go back to my render, now that's working. Nah, it's not baking it. It's the grease pencil object needs to have a keyframe on it. So it has to have a stroke keyframe for it to work. A single keyframe. That way it can render out. It knows to render out a line. So now if I render this out, it should work. I don't remember whether these dots come. Oh, these are from reflections. Okay, cool. If you delete it, it won't render the line. So the keyframe is just there to tell Blender that you've got a grease pencil line present in the scene, and to be able to apply a modifier to that keyframe. Does that make sense? Ah, I forgot to turn on the effect. Let's just turn that back on. Pretty cool stuff, though. Pretty cool stuff. Does it get you excited for the next film? I hope it makes you excited. It makes me excited. Where's the keyframe come from? It's when you make the grease pencil object. It adds one keyframe. Yeah, that looks cool. That looks awesome. So I might actually thicken that up a little bit now. So I might switch over to this is in cycles. So on the stroke, under here, under the modifiers, let's increase the strength of the line thickness just a tad. See, yeah, that looks cool. That looks cool. Nice. Is there a way to add a taper to the lines? I'm wondering. Oh, thank you. I wonder if I can add a taper, because that would add a lot more oomph. So under the line tab, let's see, line art modifier taper. Blender. Okay. I'm wondering if you can do it. You can probably do this with grease pencil, geometry nodes nowadays as well. Wouldn't be surprised. Style. Let's have a look at style. Generate strokes from freestyle edge marks. No, I don't want that one. All right, let's just check out the style parameters here. So if we go to, firstly, on the stroke, let's just turn off the effect for now and go to the material and check out, I saw the function for style under line art. Where's a tab for that? Edge types, contour, material borders, options, overlapping types. That's fine. It must have changed since the last update, 3.6. Well, it should be right. I see a style line on the options, but I don't see it on mine. Edge types. What do you guys think? Think there's a way? I just want to get a nice taper. If it's possible to get like a stroke taper, that'd be really cool. It must be under the strokes settings as well. Adjustments, relations, transforms, masks. Something I'll have to look into, I think. Yeah, the keyframes from the GP layer. That's right. Yep. Composition. No. Bake. We can bake the line up to make it real time. That's good. Intersection. That's fine. Collusion. Occlusion. That's fine. I'm not looking for anything like that. I'm just looking for edge types, probably. Illumination filtering. Light references. Yeah, I think there must be a way to modify the style somewhere. Thickness. Uniform thickness. Yeah, I think this is, yeah, there we go. Custom curve. So basically, will that affect the line art? That's what I kind of wonder. Layer, lines, material, black. Because then you can actually have it be manipulated that way. So I'm actually wondering, I think I just killed it. No, didn't kill it. I wonder whether this would actually help. Yeah, for sure. I have a feeling this is on the right track. Yep, there we go. That's what I want. So you can see here that the lines, yeah, that's what I want. So the lines here are being manipulated by this curve, like the thickness of the curve, to get this sort of tapered effect. Now the question is, how can I clean that up so it looks nice and uniform? Because it doesn't show up there in the render when you do it like that. So bring that down. And that looks a lot better anyway when I just bring down the thickness of the lines. Yeah, that looks cool. And then under the chaining, we can play with the different kinds of chaining effects. Angle splitting. Not sure if that's going to make a difference. Yeah, but that's looking really nice now. And I think it's affecting everything down the line as well. So now it's just a matter of crease on smooth, clipping boundaries, instance objects. So yeah, you just got to play with the different types now. So crease threshold, that's fair enough. Crease on smooth, edge marks. So I guess you make your own custom edge marks there. Silhouette. Not doing much with the silhouette there. Individual silhouette. Not doing much there either. So just contour. Illumination filtering none. Lines black. Allow overlapping types. That's fine. Yeah, so I got some stuff to learn, but I think we're in the right space. There we go. Ooh, that's cool. See how it's kind of got the bicep there now? And let's see if we play with the thickness now and see what happens there. Yep, that's what I want. Okay, cool. So we're on the right track. So what I put geometry space for chaining, geometry threshold, and it will change what it can kind of render based on that. Smooth tolerance. Okay, so I don't want to have to smooth that out too much. Angle splitting. Yep, that's what I want. Yep, perfect. All right, so that's what we want for the other parts. So we're going to go to the other parts of the line art and go down to chaining, geometry space. It will have changed something. I'm not sure which one that was for. The shirt. Yep, that's great. Geometry threshold. And that will smooth out the chaining. Yep. Smooth tolerance. Awesome. Angle splitting. So we're going to avoid the angle splitting when we can. That's awesome. And one more under this one. Chaining. Geometry space. That looks so much better already. Check that out. So much better. And the geometry threshold, I think, will keep it at 0. And smooth tolerance to see what make the difference there. Yep. And then on top of all that, we add that thickness. That's cool. And we can bring down the thickness a little bit. And now that's going to look a lot more crafted. See how we get that nice thinness there in the corners of the shapes there? Really cool. And now in the effects, we blur that out. You guess you're late. You're a little bit late. That's all right. That's looking really cool. So now all I need to do now is, I think that blur is affecting every line work. That's cool. You can see here that if I turn it down, so even a factor of 2 would be cool, or 1, just to soften it out a little bit. But I can do a factor of samples. Sorry, you want to have decent samples, but you want to bring down the size of the blur to like 3. There we go. This is looking cool now. Render. Oh man, this is exciting. Waiting patiently. That's cool. Yep. That's a win. Just enough subtlety to get some line work in there. And I'd probably change the color a little bit to be less black. So on certain areas, so like for the mask, for instance, I would go to the settings of, I'll make a new material and make a new line art. I'd change the color to like, I don't know, blue or something, right? Like a dark, like a desaturated purple or a blue with some dark undertone. So just less stark. And then on this grease pencil object, I would change the color to that one. And that would hopefully get something looking a little more subtle. So that's looking really cool. And let's see if we can, what happens if I change the color now. And you can see the colors coming up there. See? Super cool. So what I can do is just change that color. And have something looking a little bit less stark. So this can have some like Disney-esque lighter colors, like skin tone colors. The shirt can have some green colors, then some red colors or something for the pants. But that's looking really cool. And it renders really quickly too, which is awesome. All right. All right, cool. I still feel like this would need some anti-aliasing or further blurs, unless I'm only blurring one layer here. No, it's blurring all of them. I'm not sure why it doesn't come up in the render that well, but yeah, it could be down to the resolution of the image as well. So like, I might have to just increase the resolution of my render. So let's say, I mean, it's going to kill my render time, but might end up being better off. It also could be down to, it's probably from the lens distortion as well. So let's just have a look. No, it's not. Okay, it's not from that. Let's just double check over here. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not sure why that is going a bit haywire. Like it's looking a little bit crappy. No idea why. But it's working so far. So those are the sort of things you have to sort of figure out down the line. As for the line work, yeah, line art 03. So that's the one that we have for this, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess it just depends on the nature of it. But it should look nicer. It should look nicer than how it's rendered. Yeah, no idea why it's rendering like dog shit there. Yeah, interesting. As for that shrink wrap, I can probably turn that off. That doesn't need to be there anymore. Um, yeah, interesting. No idea what's going on there with the aliasing there. I don't think it's from any of this. No, it's not. Okay. If anyone has these solutions, let me know in the comments when this thing wraps up as for why this is aliasing and everything else is fine. But yeah, interesting, interesting. Yeah, it's just really odd. That's just really pixelated there. Really odd. All right. Well, in any case, we're on the right track. And let's double check to see in terms of just pixel resolution. There's a larger image, double the size. So it's gonna take about double the amount of time to render, but at least we can see this. We can double check to see how it all comes together and see if this issue fixes itself. Really exciting. I'm really excited to use cycles for this film now. That opens up so much more opportunity with certain things. Okay. Bind to vertex groups. I'm just really curious about what that might be the reason for. Did I turn something off in a different setting? I don't think so. Yeah, it might be some weird aliasing problem. I don't know. But at least it works. This is the hard part, is when you start getting render times over like a few minutes. This is where I'd start probably thinking about using render farms. It does look better. Yeah, that seems to have solved a lot of the problems. So it may have just been resolution on the render. But that looks super cool. All right. Well, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you guys enjoyed that one. I wasn't expecting to get this far with the quality of the render out the box, but I'm pretty excited. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited. Well, I'm going to leave it there. Leave it there with that as a big ass thumbnail. Hopefully YouTube picks that one up as a thumbnail. I will check that out. Thank you for that curve resolution. Thank you. Oh, hopefully that affects the render time affects the render quality as well. I'm gonna leave it there. I will jump back in on Monday. Not sure if I'm gonna do morning or evening, but we'll see how we go with scheduling. Anyway, I'll let you guys know in any regard. Thanks for the stream. It's been awesome, and I'm gonna render this out and see how it comes together in the final version. All right. See you guys. Cheers.